On May 30th, 1921, a 19-year-old black shoe shiner.
What up, sexy people? What's up, beautiful people? Hello to everyone. Guys, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. What's up, IG? I see y'all. I'm taking a little bit of a break from some work stuff, and I just said, you know what? Let me come on here and have my protein shake and talk to my people. How y'all doing? What up? I see you TikTok. I see you Instagram. I see you Twitter. I see you LinkedIn. I see you Facebook. No, actually Twitter, I don't think you, we had a problem logging onto the Twitter. But I see LinkedIn, I see Facebook, and I see WIRF TV YouTube channel. Excuse me. Welcome, everybody. I hope y'all had a really awesome Monday. I am coming back. Look, I wore my t-shirt. I'm representing my t-shirts and a hat that I got at a really amazing, incredible dinner that I was invited to. It was life-changing. I'll just say that. I'm going to dedicate a whole conversation to what happened during South by Southwest. For those of you who don't know, because maybe you haven't been on my Twitter. Hi, Victoria. I see you. Hello. You are the best. We love you in Baton Rouge. I love Baton Rouge. I'm so into New Orleans. Let me switch my TikTok over so I can see who's in here. Oh, it's mute? Oh, no, it shouldn't be mute. Hold on. Why is it mute? Hold on. Can y'all hear me now? Is my mic on? What's going on? Hold on 1 second, guys. I don't know why it's muting here. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get my people straight over on... Why is this doing that? Hold on, y'all. Hold on for me. TikTok. We're going to try to unmute y'all. All right. I ain't been to work in a minute. So, hold on. We're going to get it together, though. I think y'all can hear me now. Put this mic back on. I know y'all can hear me okay, Insta? And YouTube. Let me check and make sure that you guys can hear me okay on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Hi, Muhammad. Can you hear me okay, Muhammad? Okay, perfect. I'm assuming that if you couldn't hear me then. Anyway, guys, it's so good to be back. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, thank you. Oh, wait, is it no sound? There it is. Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me now. Yay! Yippee. This is what happens when you try to be grown and multitask. And y'all listen, y'all didn't get no hair did. Y'all didn't get no pixie vibes today. Okay, I'm glad y'all can hear me. You got no pixie vibes today just because I am I'm tired, but I had such a awesome time in Austin. First of all, Austin is a sexy little city. Right, I had been to Austin before, and it was many years ago. I went to Austin, and I had Austin and San Antonio confused. So I had been to Austin before, and is the audio okay? Hold on, I think my audio might be acting up, y'all. Hold on. Oh, maybe he's not talking to me. Hold on. We're going to get it together. Okay. We're going to get this thing together. Listen, it's the first day back in a long time, so y'all can't hold it against me. What's up? I see you, Antoinette. Let's do a little roll call. I see you, Lamar. I see you, Mosey. I see you, Stray. How does that say? Stray Fetch. I see. Oh my gosh. What a wonderful feeling to have my people coming in. I see y'all on IG too, on Instagram too. I cannot read the Instagram because I don't have my glasses, and for some reason that Instagram font is super duper small. But yes, I am so grateful to be back, you guys. I'm coming back from a really great South by Southwest experience. I would be doing the whole experience disservice if I didn't just really give you guys a real flushed out layout of what it was. But it was incredible. It was amazing. No sound again? What? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I keep hearing people are saying no sound. Oh, that's old. I'm sorry. Let me scroll up. It's the first day back in a minute. So y'all got to give me some grace. Anyway, South by Southwest was fantastic. Some really amazing experiences. I learned a lot, and I cannot wait to share that with y'all. So I'm going to share it with you in like a more complete video, a more complete live. But I did want to get into some of the cool stuff that happened last night at the Oscars. I was on a plane. Travel has been crazy, y'all. I'm praying for all the TSA workers and anybody who has to use the airport on a regular basis, because thank you. You can hear good. I appreciate that. Thank y'all, TikTok. All right. I think I was looking at an old, some old messages. But anyway, travel yesterday was kind of crazy coming back. I had a great time, but boy, oh boy, travel. On the return, our flight was delayed multiple times. The gate changed a few times. And, it just made me realize we got to be patient, because I'm seeing that TSA workers and other people are like not able to take care of their business at home. Some of them. I'm not speaking for all of them, but I've definitely heard. I'm gonna play it. I got clips of we gonna recap the Oscars, y'all, because I'm geeked up about it. But I want to know y'all's opinion. I want to know if y'all think that the Oscars threw a tinge of shade by only giving them, listen, let's be grateful for what we got, right? But I just knew that they were gonna get just do a sweep. But having patience with the people who are working to make sure we get to and from our destinations, super, super important. I mean, when I tell you Austin's airport was off the chain, it was like people everywhere. I was like, oh my God, we're never going to get home. And there was, there are people sleeping in airports. It's just a mess. So I'm encouraging anybody who has the patience to have more patience, to just exercise a little bit more patience and a lot more grace with people, because it's so much going on out here. I caught a little bit of my friend Funky Deneva's live, because I have not really been, obviously I don't think I've done my lives in probably a couple weeks, y'all. It's been a little over a couple weeks maybe. So I was like, let me get on here and make sure I get it in. But Funky was just talking about how short life is and how he's just kind of turning a corner when it comes to, just taking in all of the stuff, the negative, right? And it just becomes so draining when you are constantly bombarded with negative information. So I'm praying for all of humanity. I don't care what country you're from. I don't care what color you are. I don't care, how much money you got. I don't care how much money you don't have. I am praying for all of humanity, because at the end of the day, we all have to rely on each other for various things, right? And, it's just really, like I said, y'all, this trip to South by Southwest just completely changed my perspective on so much. You know what I mean? Like so fucking much. I was like, okay, Lord. I'm going to get into it a little bit with y'all. I'm going to get into it a little bit. Take a sip of my protein. I did stay on my diet, though. I didn't cheat that much. Me and my BFF had a couple snacks, but we wasn't snacking like that. But just to give you guys a short recap. So I was invited by a really incredible, fantastic group of people, the Frontier Collective, and this is all in the technology space. So for those of you who have not been following me, I am definitely I'm recapping the Oscars as well. I am definitely doing my pivot into technology. It does not mean that I'm not going to still be a creative or still be an artist, but it is super important to me that I take this particular opportunity, right, to take advantage of what I believe is an opportunity for us to have more opportunity, right? And technology is helping accelerate our access to a more level playing field. And the reason why I don't want to shortchange you guys, and I want to do a full episode on this, is because I really want to break down in a clear way how I believe that technology is going to help level the playing field for not just creatives, but for our community as a whole. Because I think creatives help really drive the culture, and the culture helps, our community, or is supposed to, right? But we have been the gatekeeping has gone on for so long. I don't even think we really know who we are. I don't think we really know what we're capable of. I don't think we really understand our power. And I think that there are a lot of opportunities for us to do that. And I went into this because I was invited, again, Dan Berger and his amazing team at Frontier, which is an amazing company. And then Doug Song, who happens to be a Detroit homie, right? And to be in a room where people really seem to care about not just the advancement of technology, but of humanity as a whole. And in the entertainment industry, it's just so full of pop and circumstances, right? It's just so full of, like, I've always said, fame is a vapor, money has wings, right? Popularity is an accident. The only thing that matters and lasts is your character. And I think we are in an industry, and we're going to talk a little bit about the industry and the Oscars and whatnot, but I think we are in an industry that perpetuates this narrative and this stereotype that the more money you have, the thinner you are, the more people like you, people who don't even know you, but they your friend and they like you, then the more you deserve the accolades and the praise and to be deified by people. And that could not be further from the truth. When you go into a room where you are in a space with people who have worked equally hard or harder than you, and even though technology doesn't seem as creative, it is very creative. I'm learning every day. And have an appreciation for that and know what it feels like to, create something and have that taken from you or infringed upon in some way. It's just a different space. It really is a space where creatives have ownership, right? It's deep. It's really deep. Like in the entertainment industry, so much gatekeeping. So you just want to be down, right? You want to be in the room. You want to be all up in the videos dancing and taking the pictures and whatnot, right? But when you have an opportunity to be in a room with a tremendous amount of success, right? I don't want to just say wealth, because that's an understatement. In some of the rooms that I've been in this weekend, right? But a tremendous amount of success, which is, it just hits different. It just hits different. To sit across from someone who says, and I'm paraphrasing, that they sold their company and they made, 100 people who work under their company millionaires. It's like, just because we all work together to accomplish this goal and you deserve to benefit from this as well. It's just a different level when in the entertainment industry, it's quite the opposite, right? You want to be the only person in the room with well, not you, but many who we have deified and just claimed are like the greatest thing since, it's just different, which is why I said I don't want to spend too much time in this space, because I really want to build out this show and really give you guys clear examples of what I'm talking about without rambling and being all over the place. But when you are in a room with people who care about humanity and who are successful, not just wealthy, right? It's different. The energy is different. The vibes are different. The knowledge and the information is different. And I am so much more comfortable in that space than I have ever been in the entertainment industry. And I've been in the entertainment industry for 32 years. And I've never felt... it's interesting. I was saying this to, my husband and my cousin. I was like, I've been to a lot. I've been in a lot of rooms, y'all. I've been in a lot of rooms. A lot of rooms. I mean, Michael Jackson gave me a record deal. I worked with Tyler Perry. I worked with Queen Latifah. I've been in rooms. Right. And I'm not saying that like I've been in rooms. I'm just saying that because I have something to compare it to. Right. And not just rooms of entertainers. I've been in rooms with wealthy, billionaire, like incredibly wealthy people where I've, been pitching ideas and trying to convince them, hey, listen, this would be an amazing investment for you. Right. but I've never really, and you go into these rooms, or you go to these conferences, you pay all this money for these conferences, right? And you think that, when you come out of it, there's going to be like a follow up. You know what I mean? Like there's always this big entrepreneur conference. Let me show you how to make $569 million like I did last week. You know what I mean? Like there are so many other variables that go along with that, right? The smartest people know you don't invest in ideas, you invest in people. But, that's a whole other thing. But being in these rooms where you think you're going to come out of it with like so much knowledge and you're going to connect, even, dare I say, I've been in plenty of rooms with black women. Did I say that? Yes, I did. I've been in plenty of rooms with powerful, influential black women who I love my sisters dearly. Do we have work to do? Absolutely. But it was different because in this particular space that I was in recently during South by Southwest, in a few rooms there, it felt like it wasn't something that was going to end when the conference ended. Y'all know what I'm saying. If you ever been to a conference, you'd be like, I met people, I spent money on clothes, I spent money on the conference tickets, I spent money I connected, I gave, but the follow through, right? Is this person really going to, is there really, and granted, I've been in some of our rooms and have established some of the best relationships I have to this day. But the vast majority of those times when I go into those rooms with us, right, mostly entertainment, nothing really comes out of it, and until the next year you go and it's the same thing. Hey, hi, how are you? And the hugs and the pictures and the how you doing and the surface conversation and whatnot. And to sit in a space where the conversation went beyond just tell us about yourself. What are your thoughts on technology? What are your thoughts on, but really made you think, and not only made you think, really encouraged you to connect, and not only encouraged you to connect, but the connections didn't just, oh, great to see you. Okay. The connections ended with, okay, so we'll see each other in such and such next week. And and it just reminded me of the real world. Not the Hollywood smoke and mirrors, just show up because there's a red carpet and there are opportunities to take pictures, but connection, community, wanting to improve not just your bottom line in your life, but the lives of other people, and connecting with great like-minded individuals. So again, I don't want to give you guys too much. I'm trying to skirt around it because I don't want to give too many nuggets. I want y'all to come back when I break this thing down to you guys. But yes, South by Southwest was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I've been introduced to some really incredible people that I am very confident that I'm going to continue to be able to build with, and get that it is not about you. It is not about me. It is about us. Okay, let me get into some of this. I love that you brought the R&B Divas franchise. I learned so much through that show. Thank you so much. R&B Divas is coming back. It's looking like it's going to be in a new city. I'm just going to say that. It's looking very much like it's going. You've seen Atlanta and you've seen New York. I'm sorry. You've seen Atlanta, you've seen LA. But there are a lot of other cities out there with really talented R&B singers. And so the conversations have already begun. And you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. And I'm just going to leave that there. But it is definitely coming back. I can we please have Kiki Wyatt? Absolutely. If Kiki will have us. But we even talked about that. Y'all listen. It's no secret. Your girl has gone through, a lot. And I'm not here to play the small violin, because I can honestly say that had it not been for the trials in my journey, had it not been for those moments where I just didn't, yes, R&B Divas is coming back, yes. Had it not been for those moments where I did not fall to my knees and was forced to pay attention, right? They say God will bring you to your knees to make you pay attention. And the whole time I was going through this, and I'm still going through it, you guys. It's not, look, please don't think for 5 minutes that I'm done, because, the amount of, let's just call it what it is, debt and responsibilities that I have as a result of the 5-year litigation that I was in is still very real, very much alive, and still very much a source of stress. However, what I'm grateful for is that I am here. I'm here in the physical. I am healthier, I think, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally than I've ever been. Even having had the amount of losses that I've had before my case, during my case, it's even with all the shit that happened, I feel blessed and I do not regret it. And I would get to a point in my life where I would feel like I wouldn't regret I never had any regrets about the actual fight that I had to have in order to protect my IP, right? But I never thought I would get to the point where I would feel grateful for the experience. And I feel grateful for the experience because I would not be where I am in my mind, in my heart, and in my spirit had I not had my ass handed to me in that P Valley case. Period. I wouldn't have been in the room I was in this week, the rooms, plural, I was in this past weekend, which are the most, I would have to say these are the biggest rooms other than the room I went in with Michael Jackson to get my deal in the 90s. These are the biggest rooms I've ever been in my life. And not because I've been around wealthy people, I've been around powerful people, in terms of just the overarching theme of progress, humanity, what's next, cutting through the bullshit and getting to what's important. That room. And I wouldn't be prepared for that room. I wouldn't be able to appreciate that room. I wouldn't be able to understand or comprehend the importance and the honor that it was to be in that space. And it didn't come until I got to a place where I was like, you know what? The reason why I did not succeed, which is relative, in the court system is not because I was being punished. And it definitely ain't because I was not right, or at least didn't deserve the opportunity to prove that I was, right? It was because that wasn't for me. And what that was supposed to be for me. Man, because listen, you couldn't have told me that I would ever have this perspective on something that has taken and drained my system and my spirit so much, right? Especially after losing my sister while that whole thing was happening. I'm right, it's crazy. First litigation, I lost NICCI. Second litigation, I lost my sister. It had me very averse to any possibility of that. Had me very much like, I'm done with this industry. Fuck this industry. Fuck these people in this industry. I do not care. And then I got to a place after the P Valley thing where I said, I get it. I understand exactly why I had to go through that valley. I understand exactly why I had to be in that particular place at that particular time, and the reason it had to be as difficult as it was. Because once you have been through a fire that burns you as much as the multiple fires I have been through have burned me, those valleys, you have an appreciation for what is real, authentic, and in alignment. In alignment with what the universe has for you, even when you are too human to see it. You understand what I'm saying? If we as human beings full of ego could make decisions for ourselves in moments that we didn't want to have to experience, we would all choose not to experience those negative, toxic moments. We would all choose the fluffy and the pretty. We talked about that on the panel. The friction, those dark valleys, those dark places that you have to go through in order to get, to the other side. And I just really honestly believe that is the only way to the other side. I think the only way, and I don't mean the other side like the upper room, because we don't want to go there for a long time, right? But to get to your purpose, you have got to go through the pain, and you've got to go through the trauma, and you've got to process it all, and you've got to be optimistic enough through the process, which basically means that your faith has been tested and it can be trusted in order to get to that promise. And I really feel like, and I don't know when, I don't know how, and I don't know who. I was just in a really incredible room. I would love, for it. Thank you so much for gifting me. I appreciate that. I'm still learning what the gifts and stuff are. I appreciate the hearts. You guys give me plenty of hearts. Oh my goodness. I ain't checked in on this. I've been off my YouTube channel for a minute, so I'm assuming that they're not gonna show me no love in the algorithm until I prove that I'm worthy again. But please hit like if you're watching me on YouTube, and if you're watching me on other platforms that have a like button, please hit that like button as well. And you can always share this video, share this content, and people can watch it later if they don't choose to watch it now. But please hit repost, share, and all that other stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep, good to see you too, Dini. Nice to see you. Hey, Pibble, good to see you too. It's great to see you guys. Yeah, but I feel great. I feel fantastic. I haven't stopped talking about my experience at South by Southwest. I'm super optimistic about the relationships that I've built, and I'm super, super grateful. And let me tell y'all something. This I will say. I'm gonna go into more detail about it because I feel like, each one teach many. But when I was introduced to this team who welcomed me into this amazing collective space, right? I did my research and I was like, oh my God, these are the big boys. Oh boy, these are the big boys. Like, ooh, well, how do I? And I had this thing over my head where I was like, do I mention my trial? I mean, all you gotta do is Google me and it's all gonna come up, right? I didn't know if I should be that transparent. I was like, do you open up a conversation with people that you want to do business with and you say, hey, so my name is NICCI Gilbert Daniels and I'm a member of Brownstone, whoop, 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 and I went all the way to the Supreme Court for an intellectual property fight, right? Is that the introduction? Like, how do you, and something on my spirit said to just speak my truth, just be who I am. Just share my story and, get it out of the way quick so that if somebody don't want to mess with you, then at least it's like you meet somebody on a date, right? And, you're like, hey, so listen, I was listening to Funky Geneva, and he was talking about the guy who actually had his legs lengthened to give him more height. And it's like, on the first date, do you tell somebody, hey, listen, I had a surgery where they broke my bones in my leg and they made me taller? Or do you wait until you're in love or in a relationship or just give it a couple? And I just decided, I'm not going to assume that people have taken the time out to do their research on me or to Google me. And also, if someone did, Google me or do some research on me before doing business, I need to share, my side of the story. And long story short, I shared in my very first conversation with the CEO of this company, hey, I'm a great person. I have a lot of experience. I'm whoop-de-whoop, but I'm also somebody who went to the Supreme Court. And I took, and I discovered this weekend that is part of the reason I was in the room, because of the respect that individual had for my honesty, my truth, and was able to say, hey, listen, I'm riding with you, and I would love for you to sit on my stage and share. And I would love for you to be in this room and share. So all that to say, sharing your truth, sharing who you are, being honest and transparent about your, and again, like, decide on how much you want to, because I don't want y'all like not being able to have dates and things, because people are like, oh shit, they shared their whole life story with me. But in this instance, I felt like it was important for me to share, and it worked out. And it won't always work out. There are people, thank you for the hearts, you guys. Thank y'all for the likes. Please hit like as you come in and tune in on YouTube and other platforms. But it's not always going to work out that way. There will be some people who will be maybe turned off, or maybe not turned off, but just feel like, hey, get your shit together and then come holler at me a little later, right? But it is so refreshing to learn. And this isn't the first time. I really am very blessed in that, people who care about knowing the truth and who care about the story and the reality, and take time to research and not just read the headlines, but read the story. I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful for that. So yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about that and the pivot into technology. I'm glad to see you too, Dr. Kimberly Noel. And by the way, you guys, I got rave reviews on my panel. Not my panel, our panel, because there were 3 of us. And our moderator was freaking credible. Shout out to Catherine and Samuel and Tony. I mean, and this is badass, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm not going to shortchange this experience, but top tier folks that just had me like, oh, okay. And I got the seal of approval in that space. So anyway, let's get into some of what we wanted to talk about, y'all. This is a picture. Hold on, TikTok. Let me see, because I think I got my green screen situation working for you all now. I think I got my green screen working for you guys now. Oh, I don't have this one on green screen. I'm showing now, you guys, a picture of, hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, I'm tripping. Hold on. Y'all bear with me for a minute, because I feel like I'm kind of lightweight shortchanging TikTok, because I'm not, hold on. I'm going to try to share this. Because I'm trying to be fancy on TikTok. What y'all been up to though? What have you guys been up to? Let's see if it'll let me do this, guys. Hold on. Will it come through? Uh-oh, hold on. I'm trying to be fancy and switch stuff around while I'm... Oh. Don't tell me I can't do that. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm not going to try to do it. I was going to try to put the picture in the background on TikTok, but I feel like I'm going to go, like, drop the live if I do it. I'm not practiced enough to do that. But if you're watching me on LinkedIn or or any of the other platforms, you see I have a photograph of Queen Latifah. First of all, let me tell you something about Queen Latifah. This woman, hands down, look, round of applause. This woman is one of the most beautiful, inside and out, physically stunning. This look, I don't know whose look it is, but it is that, like, I don't even know if the dress was red or if it had like a little bit. It looks like maybe next to me it looks a little pink. I don't know if it has like a little magenta fuchsia bits into it or whatever, but she wore that red carpet out. She looked royal. She looked graceful. She looked absolutely stunning. This was one of those big after parties, and she just absolutely killed that. So I was just... Queen Latifah gets best dressed. I saw a bunch of people who looked amazing, but if I had to pick one, it would be Queen Latifah. She just represents poise, elegance, but then at the same time, it's like Dana Elaine. The queen is hyped up. You know what I'm saying? UNITY. So it's just a wonderful thing for a woman to be able to, be a Jill of all trades and a master of many. So shout out to Queen Latifah. She looked absolutely fantastic. I went too fast. I'm about to do Ryan Coogler's speech. So let me just say this real quick. I am such a fan of Mr. Ryan Coogler. I just think that him and his wife, just together making incredible films and working together as a couple, a power couple, and not being of Hollywood, even though they are in it at the top of it. You know what I mean? Like, so many people get caught up and geeked up and like all up in the videos and shit, whatever. And I love that this family, this husband and wife, these two amazing, incredible, and I'm mad that I don't have a picture of her with him. You know, shame on me, y'all, because I should have had both Ryan Coogler and his amazing, incredibly beautiful wife. But so, and let me make sure. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on. See, I told you I wasn't prepared today for this live. NICCI. Let me find this. Let me see if I can put this picture up, because I'm not feeling this is not the one from the Oscars. Is this the Oscars picture? Yes, I think this is the Oscars picture. I'm just going to put it up anyway, you all. Hopefully it's not all blurry, because I got to make sure my sister gets her love and her acknowledgement. Sorry, Ryan. Okay, that picture may be a little blurry, but that's NICCI, Ryan Coogler's wife. She is stunning. She's badass. She does what she has to do. So I am so proud of this couple making huge moves in Hollywood, but not of Hollywood. And I want to play Ryan's acceptance speech, which I thought was thebomb.com. So take a listen.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, y'all. So happy to hear good news. Thank y'all for the hearts.
Please sit down, because I'm very nervous and they gonna play me off. Cause I grew up in Oakland, Richmond, California, and we can talk a lot. So I want to thank the Academy for thinking of our movie that came out almost a year ago. This is an incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow nominees. You guys, I want to thank y'all for the gifts that y'all movies were and for y'all friendship over the past years and months. I want to thank everybody that was involved with this movie, starting with Warner Brothers. Mike and Pam, you're here. David, you're here somewhere. Everybody, all my cast and crew, please stand up. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Yo, you guys are, oh my God. You all are winners in my book. Y'all are winners in my book. Sevo and Honey and NICCI Coogler, you guys are the best producers in the world. NICCI, you're the best wife and mom in the world. Every day I get to spend with you is better than the one that came before it. And to my parents who are here, thank y'all for all the memories. Thank y'all for making me believe in myself. And to my babies that are at home watching, I apologize for all the time away. Dad loves you. Memories are all we have. I hope I've given you some great ones. And when y'all blessed to live a long life and Dad becomes just a memory, I want y'all to remember this one thing. I love y'all more than anything. Thank you.
Hey, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. Hey, IG. Hey, guys. I see y'all. What's up, Jamal? How are you, brother? I see you. What's up, Marvelous? I see you. I let Instagram back on the room. I had put Instagram on a lightweight punishment. So yeah, you guys, it was so great to hear Ryan Coogler's speech and NICCI, his beautiful wife. I don't know if it's NICCI. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I said NICCI, so please forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I love to see, that is the finest, absolute finest in Black Hollywood. Ryan Coogler code switches for no one. I love it. Right, that's what I'm saying. I love the fact that he does not code switch. I love the fact that he's not, and his deal, y'all, the deal that he did for that Sinners movie, boy, oh boy. And I'm just a huge fan. Like, you know, I listen, I ain't trying to be shady or nothing, but it's a lot of folks out here that Hollywood tells you to like. And by tells you to like, I mean, you only gonna get movies from a certain, you know, 4 or 5 folks. You know what I mean? And it's just good to see another perspective. After all these years, it's just good to know. And this is no shade or this is no disrespect. It's just good to know that there are other storytellers out there who tell really amazing stories and deserve to be able to tell them. You know, I think that sometimes we keep giving the same people opportunities over and over and over again. And yeah, I think that, you know, it's just refreshing to see that Ryan Coogler, NICCI, and all the folks over at Sinners. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but let me get into Michael B. Jordan, because that's my little nephew. And I love Michael B. And I think that he is every mama's dream. The way he love on his mama and acknowledges his mother and his family. The fact that he showed up with his family was amazing. I love that Michael B. Jordan, for the most part, is unproblematic. Well, I say for the most part. I've never heard anything negative or crazy about him. You know, it's really interesting when celebrities are not anti-celebrities, because I don't want to necessarily say that. Y'all didn't even tell me YouTube. Hold on, y'all. I got to make sure I do this. Wait 1 second. Hold up, love. Hold up, love. We don't even have the Nights with NICCI logo on here. And y'all know y'all supposed to tell me when I do stuff like that. I'm relying on my people to let me know. Your branding is not a part of your episode tonight. Come on, Worth TV, YouTube. Y'all know y'all supposed to, and Facebook and LinkedIn. Y'all know y'all supposed to have my back on that. But anyway, I love that he has a great relationship with his family. I love the fact that he went to Fat Burger after he won the award. I love the fact that, you know, him, and I have to say Beyonce, listen, y'all better take a page out of these real talented creatives and celebrities who don't act so celebrity-ish out of their books, right? And I know, present company included, right? I just love when people let the work speak for themselves. And I'm learning, which I've been learning this for a while. And actually, if I did not have to be as involved in all of the muck because I'm fighting for IP rights or was and all that stuff, then I probably wouldn't be. But I just love when celebrities let the work and the art speak for themselves. And I'm so excited about getting to that space where my creativity and my work speaks. My actions speak louder. When you don't just say it, but you do it, show it, and prove it, baby. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. Yeah, but shout out to all of them. I'm so proud of Michael B. Jordan. And I know just enough about him to love him. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know anymore, except how he shows up on camera, how he show up for his mother, and how he shows up and represents as a young black man. Same thing with Ryan Coogler. They stay out of the mess. They're not all up in the videos every day. Beyonce too, same way. Like, y'all, these superstars got it down. It's not just, ooh, be mysterious. It's, no, let my work represent for me. And let me let that speak before I do. And I can really appreciate that. And that's one of the things I appreciate about, you know, this new AI technology. And we're going to have that whole conversation, just not today. So there's that. But let's take a listen to Michael B. Jordan's incredible Oscar speech and win.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
This is the first Oscar win and nomination for Michael B. Jordan.
God is good. God is good. And, yeah, mama, what's up? Y'all know how I feel about my mother and my father's here. Your pops, where you at? My dad came in from Ghana. He flew in from Ghana to be here. My brother, my sister's here. My family. I want to thank Warner Brothers. I want to thank Mike and Pam for believing in this dream, this vision of Ryan Coogler, and betting on a culture and betting on original ideas and original artistry. And you're an amazing person. I'm so honored to call you a collaborator and a friend. And you gave me the opportunity and space for me to be seen. And I love you too, bro. Love you to death. I would like to thank my incredible cast. Woonie, thank you so much for giving Smoke opportunity to be him. Haley at home, she's getting ready to have a baby right now. Thank you so much for being the other half of Stack. Miles, Delroy, Jamie, everybody, Lily, Omar, the entire cast. I thank you guys for supporting me through this. My team, Phil Sun, Greg Slewitt, Lindsey Gallen. Man, y'all. I stand here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room and everybody at home for supporting me over my career. I feel it. I know you guys want me to do well, and I want to do that because you guys bet on me. So thank you for keep betting on me. And I'm gonna keep stepping up, and I'm gonna keep being the best version of myself I could be. So I just want to say thank you for everybody in this room that had something to do with my success. I love you guys, and everybody at home who supported Sinners, who went to go see the movie once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Thank you, because you guys made this movie what it is. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Hands down, best men, Asian women, people of color, BIPOC people, successful Black, Indigenous people of color winning in categories that are traditionally gatekept. I don't know if gatekept is a word, but kept by the gatekeepers. I'm just so grateful to be able to experience this moment in entertainment. It feels like, I don't know, you guys, it feels like, and shout out, congratulations to all the other winners. Congratulations to the film that Tiana Taylor was in as well. Yeah, it just feels like there is a changing of the guards. Can I say that without offending people? Can I say that without offending people? I don't know, but I really don't care. Feels like we're finally having an opportunity to show up in the rooms and represent in big ways and prove just how magical we are. So I'm really proud of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan and everybody who was involved in Sinners. And I hope that this opens the door for more opportunities like that for more of us. I really do. I've always said that partnership, and I wanted to touch on this real quick. Where are we right now? Okay, we're going to keep this under an hour for sure, because you guys got to get back to editing my project. I'm so excited about it. Share a little bit of it with y'all. Just a little bit. I love the deal that I wasn't there. I don't know the terms of the agreement, but the alleged deal that Ryan Coogler did with Warner Brothers, where he has ownership of, at some point, it all reverts back to him and his family and his children, right? Those types of partnerships are so important, right? Because you have to continue to pour into the creators' economy and that ecosystem, because the healthier the people that create the content that works for your platforms and your streaming services and shit, the healthier that those people are, the more opportunities you have for moments like Sinners and for more moments like Black Panther and, all these amazing projects that come out. There's another one, is it Jordan Peele that has a new one? God something. I can't think of the title right now, but just, when we are able to do what we do and not be tethered to this idea of what it should be for corporations to benefit financially, and just allowed to be creative and allowed to have our imaginations just share stories that inspire people and educate people and motivate people and make you feel good. We feel good. If you really ain't a hater, right? You feel great looking at the Oscars and seeing people who deserve to win the awards win them versus people who have paid a sponsorship fee, and there was still some of that. Now let's just call it what it is. Because if they won 4, they should have won all of them. But hey, listen, you can't make it look, no disrespect, but there's still a lot of that happening. And it makes you feel good to see people who deserve to win. It does something for your spirit. It does something for your soul. And it does something for that young creative in their living room watching Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan win Oscars and Academy Awards and acknowledge their families and be well dressed without like a mouthful of gold teeth and, you know, pants hanging off their ass, but just really representing positive male role models or projecting that, right? I don't want to put the responsibility of it on them, but it's just great to see this and to know that they've been working together since what, Fruitvale Station? I think that was like their major project that they did together. And the fact that they kept that brotherhood going and they're here. And I hope that it is a signal or sends a signal to others out there to just, you know, find your village, find your community, and just build great things, you know, and identify, you know, people and partners who are in alignment with you, as opposed to doing things that don't feel right with people who don't feel right, you know, and forcing something that shouldn't fit, just for the sake of money or popularity or to just be like you were in the room, you know. And the other thing I want to say, we got about 8 more minutes. So if you guys have questions, please feel free. Now's the time for you to ask them. But we have been conditioned for a very long time to believe that, you know, our best partnership opportunities or best opportunities for growth will come from people who look like us, right? Sometimes that's not true. And I'm saying that because, just speaking from my own experience, and hopefully this isn't offensive to anybody, but it's just my truth. I've had more success with people who don't look like me. I've had more success with folks who weren't black women or black men for that matter. Like long term, when I look back at my life and my career, the people that I've learned the most from and I've probably felt the most sincere desire to succeed in the thing that we were put together to do, you know, haven't been black people. And that's just my truth. When I come together with my people, my sisters, my friends, my people that I put on, a lot of time, now don't get it twisted. Now, I'm by no means saying, I mean, I do have amazing working relationships with black women and black people. And shout out to my sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, because that's full of them, right? Women that I just can lean on and can lean on me, right? My sisters, Erin and Alex, you know what I mean? But when I'm talking about business, R&B divas is example number one. Let's just call it what it is. Got stabbed in the back in ways that I never would have imagined by my own folk. And it was also an example of cultural incompetence, you know, involved in something. But, you know, when I look back at Jerry Greenberg, who signed us to MJJ, and Marla McNally and Linda Blum, who, you know, like, even though, yeah, you know, hindsight, you can say, well, you didn't sign the best record deal. Well, those were the deals that were being given to artists. So nobody was going to reinvent that wheel. We all had those deals. But in terms of like, did these people try to encourage us to be as successful as we possibly could? And also, not only that, you know, I didn't feel like there was a sense of them trying to stop me from succeeding. And unfortunately, within our own community, we just have a lot of intra-racial, you know, just within us, there is a lot that we have to work on. And I encourage, as we start to go out and look for allies and seek people that we are in alignment with, that we understand that sometimes your greatest allies are not from your community. It does not mean that you should not continue to help your community. And it does not mean that you should not be one of the ones to help break that cycle by pouring into the youth. But that is my focus. My focus is building with people who I am in alignment with, no matter what they look like, male, female, white, black, whatever, right? But also pouring into our youth, because I'm over trying to convince adults about the great things we can do together if we just pay attention to each other and respect each other. I think at this point, you're beating a dead horse and you're trying to teach an old dog new tricks. And quiet as it's kept, we need to be focusing on younger people with bright ideas and passion to learn and not compete, right? Because I made a post the other day, and the post was that, they are collaborating at the top and competing at the bottom, right? And it's just how it is. And anybody who feels opposite of me, that's fine. You're entitled to that. You know what I mean? But I just think that we put our foot on each other's necks harder, more often, more consistently than anybody. And it's time for us to stop blaming everybody around us for the downfalls and for the shortcomings and for and a feeling that you get when you walk into a room and you're in a room full of people. I've been in a room full of my own Black women and a room full of people who were not Black women. And I felt more at ease, and I felt more sincere desire to work together in alignment to do something great than I have in a room full of women that I should be feeling that exact same way about, and vice versa. So we got to have real conversations, you guys. If we are going to really get to the next level in our culture, in our lives as individuals, we have to be honest about our experiences as individuals. Period. So I don't speak for everybody, and I'm not trying to make this blanket statement apply everywhere. But this little clique stuff and fitting into these circles and having to, figure out how to navigate competition, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. Finished. No more. It's true sometimes I have to agree. Yeah, it is. I mean, it just is. You can be honest. All right, guys. So I don't want to continue to ramble. See, I can't even talk straight. Like I said, I'm a little tired, but it's the good exhaustion because we had a great time. I just wanted to make sure. I've been away from the live, away from the podcast for a minute, and you know what happens. Royal Treatment said, "Me too, it saddens me, and I would love to bond with us more." Absolutely. Absolutely. And we Americanized African Indigenous Black people have to give grace to Jonathan Major. He's ours. What, is there something going on with Jonathan Majors? I don't know. I'm a little out of the loop. I'm praying for him as well. Miss NICCI, I would love to hear you do a classic standards like Dinah Washington. My mother loved Dinah Washington. That was like one of her favorite singers ever. Nat King Cole, 50s music. Okay, let me say this real quick. I've been posting clips of the Detroit Housewives League film. I'm about to play a clip now from the opening of the movie. And then I'm going to come back. What time is it? Yeah, the clip is like 2 minutes. So the timing, I'm going to be a little over an hour. But I'm going to play this clip real quick. I'm super proud of this. You guys, I'm going to warn you in advance. What you're going to see will have AI, generative AI visuals. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to open this whole conversation up about creativity and generative AI. But let me say this before I start this clip. And please, guys, share this clip. Please, hit like on there. I posted them on my TikTok. I posted them on my Instagram. I posted them on all other platforms. I am quite certain that these clips will get shadow banned because, just getting them generated was a whole task. I'm going to say this real quick because this is important. And we're going to go deeper into this conversation. But for right now, I'm gonna give you the shorthand version. For those of you who are not comfortable with generative AI and training, artificial intelligence with your creativity, to you I say, there are so many opportunities for us to share stories that we have never been able to tell. Stories we would never get the green light to tell just because. Well, maybe you would, but there would just always be someone looking over your shoulder to make sure you tell it the way they want you to tell it. It just is what it is. That's not about me being disrespectful to anyone. That is not about me, trying to ruffle any feathers, right? if the glove fits, then it fits. But in the past, we've had to go and pitch these story ideas and concepts to gatekeepers and to financial people and try to convince them of why it's important for these stories to be told in their authentic, real voices, right? And while I was not in Tulsa in 1922 during the Tulsa Race Riots, while I was not in Black Bottom during the Detroit Housewives League, as a Black woman who cares deeply for Black people succeeding and having ownership and autonomy over our shit and just being able to do what we do, I feel like I can tell this story with a whole lot more care than somebody who does not come from our community, somebody who has not had our lived experiences. And I thank God for this tool, because that's what generative AI is. It is a tool that allows us to accelerate our ability to tell stories, or at least share bits and pieces of stories that may inspire, investors or folks with money to say, hey, listen, let's hire some actors. Let's build the set. Let's get costume designers. Let's build 1930s, 40s Detroit. Let's do Tulsa. But until I get to the point where I have those resources in front of me to be able to tell this story with my peers and give them jobs and give them money to, play these characters in these roles, I am going to use this asset that is made available to me through generative AI to share these stories with our community. And I'm sharing these stories in a way that not only I hope that it resonates with adults, right, and our peers and y'all and stuff, but I also want this to be appealing for my grandson who's 11 years old, who was watching me do the editing. He was like, oh, wow, what is that? Wait, what are they burning? Hold on, did they? And he's interested because the first thing he says to me when he sees it is like, no, that's AI. I'm like, duh, I know. But he's interested, right? It caught his attention, and he watched the story unfold. And to see him sit there over my shoulder and watch me editing this, and at 11 years old, ooh, I'm getting a little emotional. Woo! At 11 years old, like being exposed to what happened in Tulsa. Yes, it is a little traumatic, and it is definitely parental advisory, right? Okay, so I'm going to say this, but the beautiful thing about what is happening with AI is I couldn't just say, hey, I need to see a woman running out of a burning house with her baby because, chat ain't going to give me that. I had to figure out ways to tell this story that were not as offensive and a little more PG. And it ended up being great for me because, I tend to be like, look, let me just tell you what happened. But this gives me the opportunity to explore other ways, to share this story. So I just wanted to let you guys know before I play this clip that it is indeed you will see generative AI, but I'm super proud of the fact that my grandson was able to look at this and be educated on what happens. You know what I'm saying? So take a look real quick, you guys. This is just a minute and a half. It is 4 parts. It's a total of 2.5 hours, but I'm giving it to you in 4 parts. And I think y'all will get it, but just take a look and tell me what y'all think. This is a story about Black Bottom and the women of the Detroit Housewives League, who helped build a thriving Black community during the darkest years of the Great Depression. But you can't have a conversation about Black Bottom until you acknowledge the events that took place in Tulsa, 1921. Because long before Detroit's Black neighborhoods fought to survive economic hardship, another Black community was already shown what Black prosperity looked like, and also what could happen when it was destroyed. In the early 1900s, across the nation as Greenwood, many called it Black Wall Street. Despite segregation and racial barriers, Black residents built a remarkable self-sustaining economy. Within just a few blocks stood banks, hotels, grocery stores, movie theaters. Across the United States, racial tensions were rising. And in Tulsa, the line separating the Black community of Greenwood from the white sections of the city was more than just geography.
It was the railroad tracks. Those tracks became a physical symbol of racial divide. On one side, white Tulsa. On the other, Black Wall Street. For years, the tracks represented a boundary. But on the night of May 31st, 1921, that boundary was crossed and everything changed.
Oh my goodness, hold on. I'm sorry, guys. That is not what we were supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be showing you guys part 2. But anyway, hold on. Let me see, because I want you guys to see this. Hold on. I know. It's crazy, but I had the wrong thing programmed and kind of pissed me off that. Hold on, guys, because I want you to see part 2. Yes, here we go. Take a look.
On May 30th, 1921, a 19-year-old black shoe shiner named Dick Rowland entered an elevator inside a Tulsa office building. The elevator operator was a young white woman named Sarah Page, and what happened next remains debated. Historians believe that Rowland may have stumbled and instinctively grabbed her arm to steady himself. She screamed, drawing attention, and police arrested Rowland the following day. Then, a local newspaper printed a sensational headline implying that an assault occurred. And within hours, rumors began spreading across the city that a lynching was being planned. On the evening of May 31st, crowds gathered outside the Tulsa courthouse where Rowland was being held. At first, there were dozens, then hundreds. Then suddenly, a white mob began demanding that Rowland be handed over. But word quickly got to Greenwood, where many black residents were veterans of World War I. They had fought overseas for democracy, and they understood exactly what a lynching meant. Determined to prevent it, a group of armed black men traveled to the courthouse to offer protection. What happened next unfolded in seconds.
Oh my goodness, you guys. So anyway, yeah, I'm so excited to share this project with you guys. Like I said, it's about a 2-hour and 20-minute documentary, and it is about the Detroit Housewives League. I know what y'all just saw was mainly stuff about Tulsa, but I just felt like as a creative, I couldn't tell the story about Tulsa. I couldn't tell the story about Black Bottom and the Detroit Housewives League and what they did during the Great Depression without first, touching on one of the first, powerful black economic, empowerment moments in our history, which was in Greenwood in Tulsa. And, I know a lot of people have, oh, thank you, the kind Charlie. Yay! I'm glad y'all appreciate that. Oh, Dee Dee Lovely said the sound is much better. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. And again, I know a lot of my peers and a lot of, that was what the whole SAG-AFTRA thing was about. People were really concerned about the use of generative AI and how it would affect us as creatives. But I'm here to say, do you understand? Like, you guys haven't seen the whole thing, and I can't wait. Like I said, part 1 of this airs. Oh, thank you, Seabreeze Swarty. Thank you. I appreciate it. Part 1 of this airs on divine9tv.com. It's free. It's free. I'm not charging $1. I just want to build the community, and I would love for you guys to go over and press subscribe so that you can watch part 1 of the Detroit Housewives League. It's a lot of surprises in this documentary. It's a lot of things that I'm sure you guys, most people know about Tulsa and what happened with the Tulsa race riots. A lot of people do not. Like I said, the biggest honor one of the biggest honors of my life is looking at it like, well, what do the railroad tracks mean? So he's asking questions, and I don't think it's offensive. You know what I mean? It gets a bit across from a TV executive and try to pitch them, hey, listen, I want to do a story about the Detroit Housewives League, but I want to touch on, Greenwood Avenue first, and I want to introduce this character and that character, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be able to, in my opinion, articulate the vision as clearly as I'm able to articulate the vision with the use of generative AI. I think that there are some really great things about us being able to input and train these systems on our truths in a way that is honest and authentic and rooted in love and wanting the desire to heal. I think it's impossible for us to heal from all the things that have happened for generations, right? When you start to wonder, and this is not just for us, please understand, this film, I hope, is embraced by all people, not just Black people, not just women. Yes, this is Women's History Month. We're coming out of Black History Month. And yes, I want our community, like I said, my grandson to look at this and be able to appreciate it. But I would love for other cultures and communities to look at this. These are historical moments. I'm not making this shit up. This is all stuff that you can research and verify. Like with the Detroit Housewives League, we're going so deep with this film because we actually have their minutes from all of their meetings that they had. So we can keep those conversations and those initiatives and things that they try to do authentic and real. But I just love it. I love that we're able to just dream something up. And I can describe what was happening with love and reverence and hope and anger and all those emotions that I feel as a Black person who's just been constantly trying to, because when I look at my case and what I had to go through with that, it's no different on so many levels. I mean, obviously we have way more resources, and I am in no way comparing my case to what happened with the Tulsa massacre, right? But just the idea that you're trying to move up in life, the idea that you're trying to get to another level for the benefit, just so that you and your family and these are communities that wasn't stepping on nobody's toes. Greenwood Avenue and Tulsa wasn't stepping on nobody's toes, but the incident in the elevator sparked what ultimately ended up wiping out generations of wellness and wealth for Black people who worked their asses off to establish their own in their community. And we need to know those stories, not because we're angry but yeah, we are. I mean, that does make you angry when you think about it. But also, in order to know where we are going, we need to know where we come from. We need to know what we are cut from. We need to know what our ancestors had to endure. And later, for waiting for permission to tell such powerful stories, we need them now. We need them today. We don't need to wait until some executive in some room who doesn't understand it, you got to convince them. We don't need to wait for that. We need to be able to say, hey, listen, here it is. And here's what Tulsa, an idea, a reimagining of what Tulsa in 1921 looked like before the tragedy, and here's what it looked like after. So the ability to be able to do that is just such a blessing. It helps to level the playing field. And I'm going to talk to you guys, not tonight, but I'll talk to you guys. Maybe tomorrow we'll get into it. I just got to make sure I get everything ready for this launch because we're doing a Divine Lifestyle. We got a couple episodes of new programming on divine9tv.com that will be launching on March 23rd. So you guys make sure you go there and register. The Kendall Charlie says, whatever it takes, we cannot continue letting anything stop us from taking it to the next step in anything we want to do. Amen. Absolutely, sis. 100%. Greenwood will live on through us. Tell this story, sis. It will inspire. I believe that. And the thing is, like I said, what people don't understand is the connection between, and that's the beauty of being a real storyteller. Y'all listen, I don't care what nobody say. And I don't care what no court said about, my case and whatnot. But I'm a real storyteller and writer and creative. I do this in real life. And I'm not saying that there are people who don't. I'm just saying there's people who don't. And when you are a real storyteller, this is just my perspective and my reimagining of, not even reimagining, because again, these are based on true events, but the way that I tell the story, the way that I share those events, the way that I express what happened in Tulsa and in Black Bottom is my own unique way as a storyteller. And I just love that these systems give us the opportunity to do that. And I'm obsessed with her. And listen, just to let y'all know, we got the C. Dolores Tucker in the story in the can. I got the Phyllis Hyman story in the can. I just can't edit them all at the same time, but the stories are written and ready to go. I've been writing these stories and wanting to pitch these stories and wanting to share these stories with streaming, networks and platforms, and just knowing that the chances of getting the budgets that I need and getting the green light that I need is slim to null, especially in this new environment. You know, what people don't even understand. And again, I feel like I'm about to get into the AI conversation, which I want to save for another time. But when you think about Avatar, right? When you think about all of the Marvel stuff, right? Anything that uses CGI, right? Even though actors and actresses are there, you know, the world that is created is still not, it's a world that's been imagined, right? And it is a world that is created through technology. So why shouldn't we be able to participate in that? Why shouldn't real storytellers have the opportunity to lay it out and share great stories with audiences? I just learned this. I literally developed all of the characters in this. I wrote all of this, right? And I am understanding how to do what is called prompt, which is a whole thing. I'm gonna share all what I've learned with you guys as well. But just the fact that we can now just share the stories and share the truths and get the message out there to anybody who's interested in it is a tremendous blessing and a tremendous asset. And I really want to encourage, especially our community, to start learning it and to start playing with it and start creating and just be real about it, right? And I think what's real will speak to the heart. That's all. So I'm not going to stay on here and ramble. Super excited. I just wanted to promote that, yes, the Detroit Housewives League film is coming. I'm so proud of it. Yes, South by Southwest was a life-changing experience for me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I'm so looking forward to, whatever God has next. And I hope that you guys will go and watch the full part 1 of the Detroit Housewives League film. And this is what I was going to tell you. So the other thing is that people don't know this, and you'll find this little Easter egg out when you watch the film. I was debating whether I wanted to release the film all at once or just, in bits and pieces. And I think in bits and pieces is probably better the first go round, just because I want people to be able to really digest it and take it in and process it. But what I realized when I started doing the research on both the Tulsa race wars and Detroit Black Bottom, which was the second, economic empowerment thing. And if you don't know the story of the Detroit Housewives League, buckle your seatbelts because it's going to blow your mind. First episode is just introducing you to the world and the characters and the Great Depression of it all. But when we get into episodes 2 and 3 and you get a chance to see Paradise Valley and you get to see Duke Ellington and Sarah Vaughan and the businesses thriving and all of the dope shit that happened, the economy that these women helped to build because they decided to push for economic empowerment in the most peaceful way ever, it's going to blow your mind. But what I realize is there's connection because the people from Tulsa were leaving Jim Crow South. The people from Omaha and the people from Alabama and Mississippi who basically chased out of those places due to racism. A lot of them came north to Detroit, and a lot of them ended up in Black Bottom. And not just, this is why I'm saying, it's not just about Black folks, because there were a lot of European immigrants as well who came over. So it's just so much to share, so much history in my hometown of Detroit. Black Bottom is going to make y'all fall in love with just the idea of people coming together and lifting themselves up by the bootstraps during the Great Depression and building something phenomenal. And I cannot wait to share this story with y'all. So anywho, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight for Nights with NICCI. Again, I got some really exciting things to share with you guys about the new things I've discovered. And I hope that you will subscribe to divine9tv.com, because what is this, the 16th? Oh my God, we got less than 10 days. Oh no, I'm getting nervous. Oh no. Okay. We're getting very close to our debut, which is March 23rd. And the reason why it's March 23rd is because it is the anniversary of my sister gaining her wings. And I wanted to do something really powerful on that day, just to remind me of hope, you know? So that's it, y'all. Yes, I'm rocking my Austin t-shirt, and shout out to Taking Easy. You guys, this is a product that you take when you're done, before your cocktail, so that you don't have a hangover. Really, really cool. Someone really super cool that I met this weekend. This is their product, and maybe I'll I have to find the packet so that I can show y'all what it's all about. But I did actually try it, and I was like, oh, this is great. I feel fine. Although I didn't drink that much, it still didn't have no parts of a hangover. All right, you guys. So I appreciate everyone for listening. Please hit subscribe. WRF TV YouTube. If you're watching me on another platform, please go over to our YouTube channel. I will have the show built out in a professional way for y'all tomorrow, because I know today was a little bootleg and a little ratchet and a lot going on. But I appreciate each and every one of you, and I cannot wait to share this incredible story of the Detroit Housewives League. And if you missed the premiere or the preview, you can always rewind this video or go to my IG, which is posted there, or my TikTok is posted there as well. All right, you guys, be safe. And remember, be patient, because it's a lot going on in the world. Everybody's going through some sugar honey iced tea, and we just got to love on each other and be, give each other more grace. That is all. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for listening to Nights with NICCI. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of theme music, and y'all can hit that like button, that subscribe button on the way out. And tomorrow night, we're going to get into some stuff, I don't know. Is there some celebrity gossip? I'm so over it. It's a new day. All right. Peace, everybody. 1,000% agree. No shame in using this technology. Yes, indeed. Tell the story of Greenwood. It's going to inspire us. Thank you so much, the kind Charlie. I appreciate you guys. Mwah. Good night, everybody.